What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So, have you heard about these Chinese police stations here in the United States that have been undercover? And they have found them here in New York. But here's the thing: is that after the FBI found this undercover Chinese police station and bust them and made arrests, now six more have been exposed in the United States, and this is pretty alarming to a lot of Americans here. And a lot of people are wondering why China has police stations, which many people are considering illegal here. And this is why New York City arrested them. These quote police station operations being called the tip of the iceberg on Beijing's overseas repression operations. In fact, Beijing has been seen operating an overseas police station in New York, London, Rome, Tokyo, and Toronto. And the Department of Justice indictments of these two Chinese citizens this week for using an unlawful Chinese police station in Manhattan to go after descendants highlights the growing tentacles of Beijing's overseas operations, which they use to harass and silence critics around the world. And get this, security agencies across Europe and Americas are investigating more than 100 facilities, 100, more than 100, that an advocacy organization exposed in September as overseas outposts of China's security apparatus in the US. That includes at least two others besides the one targeted this week. Saying, quote, these secret police stations reveal that the Communist Chinese Party of China blatant disregard and disrespect for the American rules and privacy. This comes from Representative Michael McCall, who is a Republican from Texas, the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Wow. And he urged President Biden administration to root out these encroachments of U.S. sovereignty. Yeah. And he said these illegal Chinese police outposts raise the risk of U.S. becoming, quote, a hunting ground for dictators. And these other six locations here that have already been identified in the United States: New York City, Minnesota, Nebraska, Texas, and two in California, as you can see here on the map. And one wonders how many more here in the United States. What are they doing? How long have they been here? What are they spying on? And what their missions are. Yeah. And take a listen to this, what the FBI here is saying, and what former Senator Joe Lieberman here is saying, that the U.S. could use its full force against China and may need to. Take a listen here.
All right, the FBI warning that China and Iran are using new tactics to target their critics in the United States. This after the Justice Department arrested two Chinese Americans for setting up and operating that secret Chinese police station in New York City that we've been talking about now for several months. Joining me right now is former Connecticut Senator, United Against Nuclear Iran Chairman, former Democrat Vice Presidential nominee, and author of A Centrist Solution: How We Made Government Work and Can Make It Work Again. Joe Lieberman is here. Senator, it's always a pleasure. Thanks very much for being here.
Thanks, Maria. Good to be back with you.
So I want to get your take on all of these provocations from Communist China. A secret police station in New York City, a surveillance balloon sending data and information back in real time as it hovers around and above our military installation. And that's just, of course, two things that have happened in the last 2 weeks. Never mind the COVID-19 cover-up and the intellectual property theft that continues as we speak. What are your thoughts on these provocations?
Well, obviously, we have to take them seriously. And in a way, they're clarifying for us that we're entering a new period in world history, and certainly in terms of our national security. We're coming out of the period when we were focused mostly on the threat from Islamic extremism and terrorism. That's not gone, but we've contained it. And now what we're seeing, and we've seen coming, is back to a kind of great power rivalry. Russia, in a way, but it's a hollow power. The real threat to us is China on the one hand, because it's so big and economically strong. The other is Iran, which is an extremist ideological, theological power. And it's a time for us to be tough with them and to build our alliances. So the idea that China and Iran would be targeting basically their citizens or nationals within America with the Chinese police stations, or attempting, for instance, to kill an Iranian dissident, Masih al-Linejad, in Brooklyn a while ago, is just unacceptable. It's a violation of our sovereignty, and it shows what a battle we're in with China and Iran now. We hope both will be cold wars, not hot wars, but they have to understand that we're going to use all of our strength, military and economic, to push them back. And in the case of China, particularly, we don't want to get into a war with them, a hot war, but they got to play by the international rules of law, or
Yeah.
we're going to be competitors and enemies for the next period of history.
So what should be the response then? Because frankly, all of these provocations have been met with no response from this White House. Sure, we had the arrest of 2 individuals who set up and are operating the police station, but that's about it. Bloomberg is reporting that the president is going to sign an executive order in the coming weeks that will limit investment in key parts of China's economy by American business. Now, corporate America has yet to get the memo in terms of the national security issues around China, but apparently the administration has been debating a measure for almost 2 years, and they want to take action around the G7 meeting in May in Japan, where they are hoping to put limits on how much American companies can invest in things like chips and other technology, quantum computing. Your thoughts? Should that be happening?
Yeah, no, it should be happening. And frankly, it should have happened a while ago. I mean, this is what's going to be different about this coming period of conflict, war, hopefully Cold War, with China. They're as serious a challenger as the Soviet Union was to us during the Cold War. But what's different is that we're totally tied with them economically. I mean, it is stunning that last year, as the conflict, the tension between China and the U.S. rose, and we were still working our way out of the pandemic, which started in China, trade between our two countries went up significantly. And they benefit somewhat more than we do, but we benefit from it too. We've got to hurt them economically. We've got to basically say, if you're not playing China by the rules of the road, you're going to pay for it. We're not going to allow our companies to invest in China, and we're not going to allow you to buy the things you need from the United States. We can't, sound an uncertain trumpet here, or let them feel that they can confuse us or bully us. We're the greatest country in the world. We're the strongest economy and the strongest military, and we've got to use every element of our national power against China now before they provoke us into a hot war.
Yeah, so we need to become less dependent on products from China, but it hasn't really happened. So, how do we do that? When does it happen? How do we get more stuff made in America for a similar price? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. And thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. Here's some videos you should watch next. Trillions of dollars are about to be approved. You can see here in this video here. And there are U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine right now in this video here. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.